All right, so welcome back, everybody. And I do apologize. We've got the sun right in the camera, but it is about to go right behind my shade curtains that I just put down. So all that washed out
It is
stuff,
beaming right now.
it is absolutely baking. But that's going away literally by the seconds here. I mean, I can see the sun ticking down. So welcome back, everybody. It is let's see what month, April 13th. I got to look down at the date and time because it just all gets a jumbled mess nowadays. At 7 p.m. We're live now. We do record our live streams and allow them to play back. So if you're watching at a later date and time, you may ask a question and we might not respond to you immediately, but we'll eventually get there. So I see, see Mr. Doug's in the house. He's been,
Hey, Mr. Doug.
yeah, good to have you on, sir. I know everybody's going to be super happy to see you. We haven't got to chat with you in a while. I know you do a lot of working and other stuff on Sundays, but good to have one of the original people back. Mr.
Yes.
Doug's been with us for a long time, pretty much since the start of the channel. So good to have you on here, sir. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking to you more than
Yeah,
us tonight, probably.
that's fun.
All right, so let's dive on into some questions and stuff that we got going on long before the live stream. Let's go ahead and give an update. Dino's got to get his chicken update every week, and
Yes.
we do have updates for that. Eh, eh,
I can't remember what did we only have one chick last weekend?
maybe so.
Yeah, so now we have two. We had a whole clutch of eggs that she was still sitting on, but I think there was 8 of them left and nothing else happened with those 8 eggs. We were really hoping for another chick, but
Yeah,
I guess they were just duds.
yeah,
They're doing good though.
we knew that was a
Babies are
risk.
happy.
Yeah, we've recorded it. We'll put that out this week since no more hatch, but it is what it is. So we do have some new babies here on the property. That's great. But like she said, quite a few apparently weren't fertilized, and we knew that was a risk because we keep our rooster locked up
Yeah.
at different points in the day because he's so aggressive to one hen in particular. So we'll let the whole group go out, and then sometimes we'll put him up if he's acting up. So there's times that we've collected eggs that weren't fertilized, obviously, and the hens collected them and sat on them. But at least we have two new baby chicks. I just hope they're not both roosters because that's not going to do us a
I
bit of
know
good.
that would
Maybe
be
maybe we'll get lucky and they're both hens.
aggravating.
So we'll try that again later this summer when another hen goes broody. We need to hatch these out, which we already have. We need to raise them, and then once we introduce them to the group, we'll try to hatch out some more, and we'll probably be really on top of letting the rooster make sure he's fertilizing and doing his thing right
Mhm.
there. So there's that little update. I'm assuming Dino's still on here with us. He's a world traveler, so I have no idea where he's at or what time it is right there. All right. So yeah, I'm going through all the "Hey, Mr. Doug" comments. I'll get on down to something here in a second. So PJ, let's talk about what you had to say because I see you said a cooking show with no audio could be a disaster. Well, there's a lot of actually extremely popular and huge cooking channels that do that. The thing of it is, there is tons of people in this world that either don't speak English or watch videos silently or just don't really care for the yakking and talking. Um, so I know you were talking about the new DIY channel that we're doing right here. And by the way, y'all see that we're recycling a bunch of older content, but we're trying to put it together in a way that y'all haven't seen before, or some of the stuff I'm putting y'all haven't went back and like the video I did today. One of the video clips I used was for number 76, my 76 video, which is years and years and years ago because now we have like, I don't know, 12, 1,300 videos just on this channel alone.
Yeah.
So there's still some things you're going to see over there on that. But I want y'all to understand this. And I'm not saying this, I don't want it to sound rude at all, but that other channel wasn't created necessarily for you or the viewers we currently have. You're absolutely more than welcome to go watch it. I know that y'all have known us over the years on this channel. You know how much I love to yak and talk and teach and explain. That's always going to be here. But the new channel is a way for us to reach a new viewer base, preferably people, like I said, that either want to watch silent stuff or that doesn't speak English. There's so many more people out there in the world than the United States. So we're trying to create a channel that at least catch some people's attention. People that don't speak English aren't going to sit there and listen to a guy just yak on and on. So this channel's really created to try to attract a whole new audience. But we totally appreciate those of y'all that's been over there watching. Like,
Yes, the support is awesome.
yeah, in the
The
first
first
video,
video did
yeah,
great.
first video we posted, I think it's
Yeah.
11 or 12,000
Yeah.
views, which is awesome. I wasn't expecting that on a brand new channel. I was expecting a few hundred views. Now the one we posted today, it's kind of a dud. It is what it is. But we'll continue to create stuff and stuff like these cool metalworking projects and things I do, there's really not a whole lot of talking to do in those videos anyways, to be perfectly honest with you. Like a rocket stove, it's, hey, I wanted something to cook on, so I'm creating a rocket stove. There's really not a whole lot of teaching moment or stuff in that, like building a house or building something with plans and that I'm trying to give information out. So I think a lot of the content's going to fit over there. Obviously, we're still going to have our videos here, the teaching, the education, the
I
animal
kind of
stuff.
like it because instead of watching like 4 or 5 different episodes
Yeah,
of everything, you're kind of cramming it all in one. So, but we definitely appreciate the feedback and,
absolutely.
don't take it any kind of way. But we really appreciate y'all's support for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Dixie. Can see and hear you. I should have done asked y'all that because Lord knows we used to have a lot of audio and technical issues, and I hope I didn't just put that gremlin out there tonight. So let's go on down here, and I'm still going through about my 75th Mr. Doug comment right here. I knew everybody would be excited to see Mr. Doug on here tonight.
Oh, somebody says, and we have an echo, or they have an echo on their part for us. I guess I don't know.
Anybody else hearing the echo? I
Yep.
mean,
Let us know if our audio is okay, y'all.
yeah, we're using the same mics that we've been using the last few weeks, although it
Trying to go back up.
looks like I'm yelling into mine, so I'll try to talk a
Do you
little
have the
quieter.
volume up real high or
No,
something?
I've actually got them
Okay.
turned down, but I can go even lower. Let me turn mine down.
Nope. Okay. So somebody says we're good, I guess. Yep.
Okay. All right, I just turned my audio down, so can y'all hear me okay? I'm gonna turn mine down a lot quieter than her since I'm loud and since she speaks softly. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk, Michael, about the big subject. We're trying to get y'all one of the biggest DIY builds we've ever in our life included on the channel, which is the whole new property and house build. So how's the engineering going? Oh boy. I really thought we would already
Yeah.
been breaking ground on the house by now. Had every intention of doing it. Now here it is rocking into the heat of summer, but it's been very, very aggravating. So it's taken so much longer and it's been so much harder to find all the people that we need. Um, so much more certifications and environmental regulations obviously over there than we had at this house. That complicates things. But I'm talking making phone calls to multiple companies. Nobody calls you back. Uh, just like I'm having to beg people to take money and get some engineering done, get some certifications and wetland type stuff done. So it's become quite frustrating. I struggled for the last week just to try to lock in something that I desperately needed, and we finally got that locked in. So I'm on a guy's schedule now that's going to come out and do some boring samples, soil boring samples the next 2 weeks. A current engineer that we may go with, we may not. We're still locking in our engineer. Um, he wants specific type of boring samples because the house is going to be on pylons or stilts, and you've got to make sure the soil is good. You don't want pipe clay or things that constantly move or shift. So we got to get those samples in to determine the type of foundation that we can do. But the architectural plans are done. Pretty much all the environmental stuff's done. We just have to have engineered plans so we can take this entire group of craziness to the big ultimate environmental department, sit down with them and present everything, and they can either bless it and say, "Here's your building permit," or no. So we're getting close, but it's still going to be many more weeks. It's looking like to get these board and samples done, and then get engineering done. But that's the last two steps. And
Hopefully.
yeah, we hope because we
Hopefully
didn't
we don't
we
get
didn't
any
know
more
about these deep
surprises.
boring samples until the engineer was like, "Hey, I'm going to have those." I was like, "Wonderful, we would already have those for you." So it's just been one surprise after another, and like I said, there's been some complications just on hiring people. I've been desperately trying to get people, and like I said, there's a lot of cases people just won't even call me back. I'm like, oh my goodness.
And I think once we get past this process and the engineers, done stamping it and everything, then we're definitely going to show y'all the house plans. And we just want to make sure everything is still going in the right direction
Yeah.
before we do that.
So yeah, we'll get that out to you. Let's see here, Brian. See, y'all see everything. So how do you like the fogging backpack blower that's in your shop? Are you going to review it? I started recording a review on that many, many months ago because the mosquitoes were so bad. I was fogging the woods. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Brian. I have a friend that has one, and he kind of swears by it. I didn't see good results with it. So I decided to call off me doing the review. Yeah, I've spent some money on it. It definitely works. It fogs, but I didn't see the mosquito
Right.
population knocked down like I was hoping, which we
We
have.
were doing it pretty regularly.
Yeah.
So
And we have such a
yeah.
massive piece of property. That may be why, but the fogger itself works awesome. It really does. If you're interested in one, I got one.
Oh, so you're gonna get rid of it possibly?
Possibly. I may. I may. We'll see. So I see Mr. Doug right here just got recognized for being 2 years old.
All right.
I think he's a little more than 2 years old, but
I know you
membership for
always
2 years.
say that he's the one that talked you into doing the
Yep.
whole
So
membership thing.
I
So
do that all the time, Mr. Doug. People ask me occasionally why we did memberships. I'm like, if I'm being honest with you, because Mr. Doug used to stay on top of me that you need to set up the membership. So we did. Okay, so good question, Crystal. So next Sunday's Easter. Are we having a live stream? Yes, we are. I think that's the plan. We do have Easter plans with family and all. Since we're at 7 o'clock now, I don't think we're going to have a problem having a live stream. So we are planning on having that. And I understand a lot of y'all are going to be traveling and other places. So the live stream turnout could be a little low, maybe, might not. Who knows? But we
we'll
do.
still try for it.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
still do that. We'll let y'all know if anything comes up. But I think we should be just fine. So have we made it out on the water any, says Doug. Well, absolutely. We are water babies. We've taken the boat out twice.
2 or 3 times, yeah.
Yeah, something
Oh,
like
we've
that.
been a couple more times.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
which we typically don't record that. That's occasionally our 1 day off type of thing. Now, if we go do some awesome fishing or something, we'll include that. But normally we just go boat, grill, cook out, hang
Swim.
out with friends, swim. Although it's been way too cold for swimming, but we'll stand in the water. Let's just say that some shallow spots. But we've definitely taken the boat out a few times. That is one thing
We wanna take the boat out and go fishing.
we do.
So we really gotta make that happen.
Problem is, especially on the saltwater side, there's hardly nothing in season right now. Our officers and state regulation agency has just pretty much just about eliminated, especially anything offshore worth going. There's literally not much of anything in season right now, so it's extremely disappointing and frustrating. We have no idea when the seasons are going to open. Otherwise, I'd already had some trolling for grouper videos and things like that out. Let's see here. Oh, that's Michael says happy birthday to Mr. Doug. I was like, is it really his birthday? But I think you mean the 2 year
Yeah, his
thing right
2-year
there.
birthday.
So another sensitive subject tonight. Andrew and Sankey says, how's the garden going? Well, we have had some problems. And I've put cameras out and I finally caught some critters. I am having a major problem. We talked about this last week with birds, which I kind of already knew that. I thought it was mostly what are these? Oh gosh, what are they called? What's the doves called?
The Eurasian doves.
Eurasian collared
Yeah.
doves. They're not native here, so I thought that was mainly the problem, and I still catch them in the garden. But believe it or not, redbirds, cardinals have figured out how to go in the garden, and anytime my corn pops up just a little tiny stalk, they have found out if they grab a hold of it and pull it out, they can crunch the seed off of the end because it's still attached. And there is ate up seeds everywhere in there. And I've put cameras out, I've caught them in the act so many times, it's crazy. I just finally got some bird netting in, but I've had to replant most of my corn twice. So now it's at all different heights and stages. It's going to get shaded out. And that's frustrating. That's the main thing I want. And then, my goodness, have the weeds popped up in the watermelon side. And I cannot get watermelon seeds to germinate this year for nothing. And I grew such good watermelons last year. So I've got to work on that later this week. We got to tackle these weeds. We'll give you a little garden update. I know some people like that. Definitely not our popular videos, but we're getting there.
The beans look like they're doing good.
The beans are up. I've had to replant them a couple times because birds have pulled the seeds up on the beans. They're figuring out how to scratch stuff up.
Everything's hungry.
Yes, it is. So it's been a frustrating start to the garden, honestly, because everything wants the garden more than we do. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Mr. Jimmy says, good to see you made it through the storm in the camper. Yes, Mr. Jimmy, y'all, we had an interesting time Friday.
Friday was wild.
Friday was wild. All right. So we finally took the camper back to the property because the risk of flood is completely gone. And we're setting it all up. You know, it's kind of a lot of work to get it like a permanent setup. I'm in the camper and I keep hearing what sounds like wind rushing. So finally I kicked the camper door open. She's on the phone, I think, with your mom or something. And I'm like, what is that? And as soon as I look up, it is jet black out of the blue. It was just a beautiful sunny day like it is today. Jet black out of the blue, popping lightning. It come out of nowhere. And y'all, it blew up so quick. It started hailing everywhere. Friends are sending us videos. We got a little hail at the property. Our friends right down the road got hail. There was a lot of hail up in a town not just only a few miles from us. Well, I call it a town. just really
Yeah.
bad. Tornado warning started popping up all around. His phone's going off.
It's crazy.
Crazy amounts of rain and lightning flooded the whole property out again. Everything keeps trying to wash my grass seed away, although it's looking pretty good
Yeah, it
over
is
there.
looking good.
I need to show you all
We had
that this
just
week.
moved the camper over to the property, and
Yeah.
you're just like, dang, I probably should have strapped it down to the
And
augers.
we hauled all kinds of food and everything over there. We was about to have a cookout with friends, and we had to call it off. The whole place was just flooded in a muddy mess. We got so much rain so quick, so that didn't work out. Speaking of, y'all, I'm stopped up, allergies like crazy, and it's been a long weekend. We've had 3 cookouts. I just realized, including one was a birthday. We've been traveling, so if I seem a bit allergies kick my butt, my
I
nose
know.
is
I
running.
got some allergy eye drops in there. I need
Yeah,
to give
my
you.
eyes are. I've been rubbing them
Yeah.
raw all day long. There's pollen everywhere, and we've been burning the road up this weekend. So y'all bear with me there. Yeah, see, I'm snotting right now. Goodness gracious, that time of year. Mr. Doug, appreciate you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Doug. That's
So just gifted out 20 memberships to people, and I have no idea who all they went to. My streaming software don't show it, but it's random. People ask me that all the time. How do I get one? Well, you either buy one or somebody gifts it like that. So y'all, typically what we do, I know we have the memberships because people like Mr. Doug just are so kind and generous, want to support us, but we'll give early access to some videos sometimes, especially better videos, things that may be exciting. But again, videos are always free for everybody. We try to do an extra live stream a month, and then we'll do the behind the scenes stuff. Probably as the house and stuff gets closer, I'll probably start doing some polls and things like that, getting y'all's opinion on some cool stuff and maybe custom builds and things like that. So, Mr. Doug, appreciate you so much. That was
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
extremely kind and generous there. Without a doubt, one of the most generous people that's ever been in our life. He says, all right, the first new members, first month's on me. Well, we appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you.
You're so kind and generous. All right, let me go on down here. So what's the new channel name? Says Music Junkie.
Yeah, go ahead
Actually,
and throw it out there.
yeah, I got a banner. I need to put that up. So I'm going to type. A lot of people don't realize you can search just using the @ and channel name now on YouTube if you've set it up. It's called a handle, and I've got that set up, so I don't have to necessarily type a link in. What I can put is
Good to know.
although I'm typing slow. All right, so I'm going to put it down in the chat. It's @ the Kelley's Creations. If you type that in YouTube search, it'll pop up. So that that should have just been there. Or if you want to go type out the entire thing, you can see I have it on the screen right there. So like I said, for a while, I'm just going to combine older content because there's so much y'all haven't seen. People just honestly don't go back and watch older videos. So there's still going to be some new stuff there, but I'm going to put it together in ways you haven't seen. If you like just turning something on and just watching it, letting it go, combine a bunch of series and videos. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time and do a full ice maker series over there as well, because I think people would be interested in watching that. Remember there was like 8 or
maker videos.
How many? There was probably 8 or 10 ice maker videos. Well, I'm gonna try to put it all in one, just the whole ebb and flow through there. And then as we build new stuff in the future that I think truly fits that channel, the ultimate plan is to put brand new, fresh, exciting content over there. But if it's a build or something that I think is home specific and makes sense on this channel, or it's got good teaching moments in it and talking, or it's absolutely going to get posted over here. I'm trying to get one channel set up. My passion is creating and building. I love it. And I'm trying to get one channel set up to where all you're going to see is creating and building, because like we were explaining last weekend, the reason our channel has so many subscribers but not so many views, which we do occasionally get really good views on certain videos, is because so many people subscribe to us for so many different random things. We have way too varied of content over here.
Big variety.
Big variety. So when somebody subscribes to you because they just seen their first video ever of your channel, love it, and then week after week they're not getting what they subscribed for, well, they just quit watching. And then the algorithm no longer recommends your channel. So I want to create one channel to where what you see is what you get. And every time I post a video, it may not be the exact type of build that you want, but it's always going to be DIY and creation. And I think as that channel grows, it could potentially be our biggest channel, but we'll probably get a lot more views and watch time over there because people are getting exactly what they subscribe for. At least that's the hope. It takes quite a while to build out a channel, to get it monetized, to get it working, to attract people. It's just the way it goes. It's just like starting a business, honestly. So we're putting a ton of work in it right now for for nothing. But we're very hopeful that down the road it's going to turn into something. We've did it before. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to do it again. All right, let's see what here. I finally purchased my property, not as large as I basically wanted, but went Southwest Florida. Well, congratulations. There is
Yes,
nothing
that's
more
awesome.
exciting than buying a property and then having a dream and a vision for it and getting to develop it. Like, I'm super excited about that with our river property right now. If I could just get permission to build, I want to build so bad. So, yeah, I totally understand. So enjoy the process. Don't try to rush it like some people do that I know. I love the whole journey and process of
Well,
I
I'm good with that now. I mean, the house, yes, I was ready to get out of the camper, but I'm good now.
Mhm. All right, let's go on down right here. So, Mr. Doug says, I apologize, it's been too long. You ain't got to apologize about nothing, sir. You've got a life to live, you've got things to do, so don't you dare worry about that. Um, okay, let's see here. Oh, we might have got a positive comment for the other channel. Woohoo!
No,
Hang on, let me read it.
he's just messing.
I know, I know. And it, again, I'm not trying to be rude, but it ultimately wasn't created for our current viewership and for y'all because y'all know what to expect on this channel. And those of y'all that routinely come back, you're getting what you want over here. It seems like everybody loves the talking. Whereas I can't tell you how many times over the year I've get comments from people of this guy talks too much. I wish he'd shut up. See, I see those comments all the time too, and I lose people. But if you want talking, just right here. I guess we ought to rename this channel the Kelley's Talking. So Case says, I was uncertain last week when you were discussing the new format, but it was nicely done. Loved all the episodes into one. Well, good. That's the way, I think that's the way it's always going to be over there.
I like it too. You can just see it all, from start to finish and not have to watch 5 different episodes to see it, which, it's good too. I mean, you showed a lot of stuff in all those.
Well, we will I'll read some more of y'all's comments. We'll modify the content and the channel as needed. And it may be that I don't do all the typing. Maybe people just want to watch without the words, or maybe I do occasionally put some minor talking in there. But I already know up front, I need this to be more of a format that's available to anybody that does not speak English or does that can just watch, learn. Because a lot of people are very visual. I am, and I just when I see something going, I can already kind of see what's going to happen next or what the project is, what the creation is. And then Casey said one more thing, or also having y'all's pasta recipe tonight. You mean the
Ah,
Italian pasta salad?
yum.
Oh, that thing is so
Yes.
good. We need to have that.
Now he's going to be asking for it.
Yep, actually, I want that.
We
So,
haven't had pasta in so long.
uh, Adam says that sounds boring. You see how far behind I am? I have to think about it for a second because you're play on words, but he means the soul boring samples.
Oh, yeah.
It finally clicked. All right, let's go on down here. No kidding, Mr. Doug, you did it again.
Oh, it's all over here. That's all I keep seeing is membership,
Oh my
membership,
goodness,
membership.
sir, thank you so
He's
much.
throwing them out there.
Yeah, I can't see. So I've got Mr. Doug. I know you've been gone a long time, but I was having so many problems with YouTube streaming software crashing on me on every computer I have. So I had to buy streaming software, and I love it. But the only thing it doesn't show me, well, do a couple of things, but I can't see who gets gifted memberships or any of that stuff. But luckily, it shows me that you're doing something there.
Yes, he is.
Goodness gracious, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
Apparently, she's telling me there's a lot more
Oh,
going on
yeah.
down in the bottom of
Yeah.
the chat. I'm so far behind because I yacked.
You know how he gets real far behind.
Yeah. So Pest Hunter says a good product to use is PB300 for mosquito control.
All right.
Text me, or I don't have a notepad out here.
Hold on, leave it right there. I'll take a picture of it. Oh, come on, get out of the way here. Got it.
I wish the sun would hurry up and set. I know it's just got the camera looking so hazy. Sorry about that, y'all. So we're getting all kinds of random questions out. See, I'm in the gas or market for a gas powered pressure washer for a new business. Do you have a video on any, or can you do one in the future? I could, but that kind of content, Brian, I'm like straight up product reviews, unless it's something that fits this channel, like my EcoFlow stuff that runs the entire house. Well, that's a huge part of this channel. People really do enjoy that content, solar and things like that. But if it's random, just tool reviews and stuff like that, small equipment, I actually have a review channel now. Yeah, I know I've been busy starting way too many channels. So that's where I would do that type of content. I do have, I did buy a new pressure washer last year to use as a wet blaster and blast all the paint off of the fire pits and stuff that I build. And if you're starting a business, you're probably going to want a big pressure washer. And believe it or not, I got the big boy, the big one that Harbor Freight makes. I know Harbor Freight's not known for quality tools. I get it, but I don't use one a whole lot. and I can tell you it is a beast. Several gallons a minute. Gallons per minute is more important, honestly, than PSI. Keep that in mind. All the little residential stuff, all they push is high PSI numbers, and then you look at the flows, 2 gallons a minute or something like that. You're starting to get into like commercial grade stuff when you get into 3.5 to 4 gallon a minute. And I don't know why you'd ever need anything higher than that. I actually just got rid of my old pressure washer, and I bought me a big 20-inch surface cleaner. So I'm setting me a setup up that I can do big time cleaning myself. We got 1,300 square foot of porches. I want to be able to knock it out, not spend all day on it. The other pressure washer that I was seriously considering before I decided to try the Harbor Freight, and this may be what you want for a business, any of the Simpson commercial line, they got Honda engines on them. They look really good. You can get them from Lowe's, on sale a lot. But again, start getting up into that 3.5 gallon a minute range, but expect to pay many hundreds of more dollars for those. And they're worth it. Mine's got a good pump, but those have really high quality pumps. But the Honda engine's what's really making those things get more expensive. But look at the Simpson ones. Yeah. So, and L. Anderson said that fogger might not work because you're in the North Florida flatwoods. I am, and we only have about 5 trillion mosquitoes floating through around here, so I can't really fog the entire
I
world.
mean, we were hoping for just maybe a little bit of relief from them, just around the house right here. But
I guess I should try it again.
yeah, that's what I was
I
going to tell you after the live stream.
I
Is
need
just
to.
give it another shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Doug. She wasn't kidding. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. You are on a roll tonight, sir.
Everybody gets a membership tonight.
Apparently. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think he's going to wind up buying more memberships than people are on. So I'm curious to see how that works. I guess you might get stacked up double memberships. So who knows? Well, actually, I don't think he can. It's weird. They cap you. I don't think he can buy enough memberships for everybody that's on here.
Oh, gotcha.
But that would be hilarious. So yeah, I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
Everybody's been asking.
What's for dinner tonight? I know I'm that far behind, Anna.
We are doing fajita quesadillas. Steak fajita quesadillas.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to it, y'all.
Sometimes, y'all, it's a struggle trying to think about what to make on this Blackstone. So
Yeah.
we were like for hours this morning. I'm like, I need some help. Try to help me figure out what to cook.
You can't go wrong with Mexican food. It's by far my favorite food. So when she's walking in there, she's like, "You want quesadillas?" I was like, "Yes, yes." You already know. Don't ask. All right. So that's what we're going to have here in just a minute. Oh, so Ella Anderson. I knew I didn't recognize the name and the seashell emblem right there, but it said Tiffany looks so good. This is Teresa from Washington.
Hey.
Well, hey, how are you? Long time no see. Hopefully you're doing well.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, I love how she said you look good. Didn't say nothing about me, did you? Dadgummit. All right, yeah. Now I'm seeing all the dinner questions. Sorry, y'all. I got way behind there with all my yakking. So have we had any frost? No. This has been a really, really good spring for us. I thought since I planted the garden early, we were guaranteed to get a frost. No, we haven't. I mean, our coldest day I think was this morning. I think we've gotten the high 40s. Feels amazing, but no chance of frost. Looks like we're completely done and out of it. It's just these aggravating birds has been the problem, not frost. We've been good. I see you said you've been hit twice, so hopefully you didn't have a garden in the ground if you grow one. Otherwise, you got to start over. All right, so Barbecue Bob, I like your name. He says, thank you to whoever gifted me a membership. That would definitely be Mr. Doug tonight. Yeah. Okay. So PJ says you might have to soak your seeds first. Well, I'm not having maybe the watermelon. You're exactly right. But last year,
give that a try.
Last year I planted them straight in, 0 issues. But I'm willing to try it because I'm running out of watermelon seed. I done planted them twice and still not really seeing nothing. But the weeds are getting so bad out there, I might not can see them. So daily life, what does one have to do to get a free membership? Honestly, just got to cross your fingers and hope that whenever somebody gifts them out like that, the algorithm just randomly chooses you. The computer program, it's all happening behind the scenes. Nobody can actually control it. So there's really no way that you can legit get one other than buying it. As far as gifting goes, nobody knows who they're going to go to. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's telling him now and, or who, I don't know, him, her, whoever daily life is. And I'm just so far behind. So did the river property grass grow and survive? It did, even though we've only had 2 rains since I planted it, and both have been insane. Like
we
one
were
Friday.
Thinking for sure it was going to be washed away.
Yeah. So I am very happy to say I've went over there and there is little grass popping up everywhere. The property looks completely different. So I'm going to go over there and do some work this week, record an episode, and y'all are going to see it's just dramatic. Looks so much different from the last time I was over there. It was nothing but dirt after raking and cleaning it and planting it. I cannot wait to see a few more months down the road because all that little grass is maybe that big right now, and you're just starting to see the dirt spots turn a little green. But in weeks, literal weeks, or another couple months, it's just going to fill in so good and look amazing. I just got bit by a mosquito.
Uh-oh.
There we are talking about them. Adam says, Andrew, I see a booger.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in there.
Thanks,
I don't know if
Adam.
he's picking on you or not. You want a napkin? Here, let me get you a napkin. Jeez.
Boy, we're having an interesting live stream tonight, aren't we? If Adam's not talking about boogers or poop. So, by the way, if any of y'all are new tonight and you didn't just click off, sorry about that.
Thanks for the notice, Adam, on that.
Yeah, I'll make sure I got it before I come back.
You're good.
Okay. I didn't technically see anything, but we'll go ahead and do it. And my nose is running like crazy thanks to all this pollen. Appreciate you, Adam. Always something on your mind, isn't it? All right. So yeah, Crystal says a couple weeks we'll get to have Tiffany's birthday bash. Yes.
Yes, it is coming fast.
It is.
I just was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, my goodness. Just around the corner.
See-
Everybody's been asking me, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Eat Mexican food. It's on Cinco de
Yeah.
Mayo. We got to do that. That's what we do every year. All right. So this is interesting. Mr. Doug says we hit 14K on a pollen count this week. You can feel it, but I don't know what that is. Honestly, I've never paid attention to pollen count. That's why I said that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to go look that up and see what that actually means.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Larry, he says, don't forget there's also a podcast channel. Yeah, which we haven't done nothing on in like a year.
We haven't.
We all the time are, sitting around. We don't sit around, but maybe by a fire or doing something, and we'll get on a subject and we're like, man, we should really talk about that on the podcast. But then we're like, when the heck do we have time to do that? Because
and it would be so much editing, because if we're out there for hours talking about stuff and then, having to edit it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, threw it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So any coats yet? They're for certain around here, but I just had to order in a special mount to put the thermal on my Coyote Pew Pew, we'll call it. And I've got to get that set up this week, and I want to do some recording so that we'll have some stuff on the outdoor channel. So I've got another thermal video that'll probably post tomorrow on the outdoor channel. A lot of people are asking about the higher end thermal, because I showed a really affordable one. Then I'm still going to show another affordable one, but it's a lot higher resolution. I know I think Jeremiah and a few other people are asking me about it. So that should post tomorrow, and then I'm gonna start recording some hunting footage and put over on the outdoor channel as well. And I've got a really cool video coming over there that I've been working on for 5 months. You don't even know what it is.
Okay.
Something I have that just takes time, and I'm excited. I hope it works out. I have no idea. So we'll have another video over there coming if I can get that one complete this week. So y'all, I know we haven't posted as much content on this channel here recently, but we've actually been posting a ton of content with all the other channels we got going on. I have been posting content constantly, at least every other day, a lot of times twice in a day. So if you don't like the other channels, totally understand that. But if you haven't found them yet, we are posting a lot of content.
Yeah, he puts a lot of stress on himself because he's so used to doing the amount of videos that he does for this channel, but he's added more channels now, so got to spread it out, I guess.
Yep. Speaking of, it was fun watching the older stuff in the new format. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I know a lot of y'all watching that to support us, and we appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, Mr. Bob says it's been a while since me and Mr. Doug's both been on.
Well, glad y'all are here.
Yeah,
we missed y'all.
The originals, the OGs. So, good question. What is the timeline for finishing the new house, says Chris. If you can convince the permit departments to give me my permit, we'll get it knocked out.
Well, he wants to know so that he can, keep on you about getting it done.
Yeah, I know. Chris helped, boy. That's all I ever heard with the last house bill. When's it going to be done? When's it going to be done? He's so sweet. Nice.
I'll be there, so I will help move it along.
So the smart thing to do is to give you a ridiculous timeline. I'm going to say 24 months. So when I beat
Oh
that,
gosh, I hope not.
when I beat that, we're good to go.
Oh goodness.
You know, and I really don't know. We got to figure this foundation out and how crazy that's going to be. And I'm probably going to rent some equipment this time, like a big man lift to set trusses and do things myself. So that's going to help speed up, depending on how long I rent some of this equipment for. I realistically, I'm thinking 12 to 13 months, like the last house. But I think we're going to build it quicker because it's smaller. I'm going to have a helper, but we got a lot of travel time this time. That's why the camper's over there, because we're pretty much going to have to start staying over there. Because if I got to pack up tools and drive home every afternoon, then pack up whatever and drive back
Right.
every morning, that's a ton of lost time and a lot of fuel too. So we really don't know. We think we're going to stay over there off and on. Obviously, we got things and priorities and stuff to take care of here, but I think 12 months or less, we should better knock this thing out, and maybe sooner, because we're going to do a lot of really easy to do type things. For example, this is something I'm working on this week, by the way. I've been very curious about mini splits. Never installed one in my life, but I ain't gonna let it scare me. So I'm actually gonna put a mini split in the shop this week. That's something y'all have actually been asking about. We talked about it on a few live streams back. I don't have heat in my shop processing room, not my shop.
Not the shop. Yeah,
It's not
he
insulated.
confused me too
I
because I was
wish.
like, "You're putting an AC in the whole
I
shop."
wish I had to insulate the whole thing, and that'd be so expensive. So I'm going to put a mini split in this week, see how the whole process
Hold on,
goes.
I gotta get on the Ruger real quick.
Oh,
Ruger.
boy, you do that. Um, Learn the whole process, because the plan is I want to put a 3-zone mini split in the new house. Very, very affordable. Keeps our budget super low. I'm talking like 2,000 something dollars doing it myself versus, oh my goodness, probably $10,000-12,000 if you do central AC and then buy all the duct work, and all that stuff's just outrageous right now. And the other cool thing about it is I could probably literally install the mini split in a single day, whereas it would take me days and days and days, for example, to put a whole house central AC and run all that duct work, get everything absolutely perfect. So we're going to do lots of things like that throughout the build to keep it affordable and to speed the process up. So hopefully that all works out like I'm thinking, but who knows? We may run into snags and everything else. The one thing that's probably going to get me right now is the foundation and pilings. I still don't know about all that. Hopefully nothing gets complicated there and starts the build off really slow and expensive. Mr. Doug, goodness gracious, sir. Thank you so much. Just gifted out 20 more memberships. So I am so far behind. I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
Danny says I'm fifth of the way to the waxing. We're having some weird conversations tonight, especially if people are new and never been on here.
Oh
But yeah, I promise.
They're gonna be like, "This is a pretty
Yeah. Who the heck are these people? Yeah, I promise something crazy and funny if we ever hit 1 million subs, and people are definitely not letting me forget it. Y'all, let me move the camera around. Hope I don't unplug it. Tiffany's warming up the Blackstone. I'm gonna keep yakking and talking to y'all, answering your questions. Hopefully, I don't knock this thing off. All right, I know it's kind of bright with the sun over there, but it's setting, so I'm going to keep the brightness up in the camera right now. Let's see what else we got going on here. I see Jason just jumped on. Hello, Jason. Good to see you.
hello.
And don't you dare say this, Tripping. He says it's not uncommon for this process to take about 24 months or so for all the permits and engineering
I
work
sure
required.
hope not.
Yeah, hush your mouth. We're on the home stretch. What's crazy is this house was simply architect, engineer. Is he barking at?
Something in the sky because he's looking up.
Let me see what Ruger's barking at.
Sometimes it's an owl over there, and he what in the world?
What are you barking at?
Ruger's over there going
it's an
crazy.
airplane.
It's an
It's a
airplane.
jet.
He
Somehow,
never barks at an airplane.
somehow Ruger is seeing a jet all the way up in the sky, and he's barking and going crazy. You can't even hear it. It's so high, but he's certainly looking at it. That's nuts. He's never done that before. So this house, what I was saying, for example, it was literally architect, engineered plans, which is the architect took forever, but the engineering was quick. I went to the permit office, paid them their wad of money, and here's your building permit. Super easy, because this house had no environmental regulations or concerns. But we're in the home stretch on ours now. It definitely isn't going to be no 24-month process. I certainly hope not, because I am ready to break ground. I want this house started this year. I want to get going. now that it's super hot and getting into summertime. I was hoping we could have broke ground months ago and I could have been heading toward drying it in before the heat of summer and had a roof over my head, but it is what it is. I'm going to hush up, not complain about that anymore, because we're blessed to have the ability and opportunity to be able to go do something like that. And we're very hopeful it's going to be a fun series on the channel right here. Mr. Doug, holy smokes, dude. Gifted 20 more memberships.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
You're going to get in trouble tonight.
I know. Everybody gets a membership tonight.
Oh my goodness, that is extremely kind and generous that you're doing this. Yeah, there it is. He says YouTube has tapped me out. Yeah, YouTube will literally cut you off. And Mr. Doug is one person who's found that out time and time again. I guess probably because they think your credit card's been stolen. Oh goodness gracious! Thank you so much, sir. You've been awesome. All right, so Crystal's done looked up the date for us. It says the live on May 4th. So your birthday's on a Monday?
It is
Boring.
on a Monday. No.
Boring. Well, I guess I need to cook on May 4th. And May the 4th be with you. Thank you for looking that up. My microphone falling off of me. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, isn't it, Kathy? That was so kind of Mr. Doug. Oh no, I wasn't saying that for a reason. He says I put the pressure on him for saying the memberships was his idea. That was not meant to be that way. No, sir, absolutely not. But I do remember you being the one asking me to do it. So
he was encouraging it.
Yes, he was. My goodness, Miss Lee, you're always so kind and generous.
Thank you, Miss Lee.
Gifted out 20 memberships.
I was wondering when he was going to get to yours. He's so far behind.
Yes, I am so far behind. I apologize. But yeah, y'all have about gave memberships out to everybody that's on here.
Hey,
Ruger, what are you doing? Boy,
what's going on?
I'm gonna put you inside.
What's going on?
I don't know what he's doing. He never looks in the sky and barks. Goodness gracious.
He's in a mood, apparently.
Well, he's only slept for the last 3 days, so I guess he's wired up and ready to go now. All right. Well, thank you for saying that, Mr. Larry. Says, remember, we all have to watch the new channel. You absolutely do not. I don't want y'all watching anything that you don't want to see, but thank you so much, Mr. Larry. I know that you've always supported us, been so kind, but you click and watch what you want and skip the video when it's not something you want. I want y'all enjoying the content, not feeling obligated. So, all right, let's see what else we got going on here. All right, so Sharon says her birthday is on the 3rd, so Tiffany and I can celebrate together. All right,
we can.
We'll absolutely do it.
Y'all missed it. I am making fajita quesadillas.
That's right, and I am starving and looking forward to tearing these things up. I haven't had nothing since breakfast other than I did eat a banana and a couple slices of cheese because I was getting pretty hungry about 4 o'clock. I didn't know if I was going to make it. All right, so it's like Denise had a birthday today, so joining late. Family threw me a birthday party.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I got a lot of birthdays are going on right now. Jonathan says my HOA needs me. I got to go. Uh-oh. Are they getting on to you, or do you work in the HOA?
That doesn't sound fun.
No. HOAs. So tripping, valid point. If you're doing commercial work, who was asking about the pressure washer earlier, I did look at an MTM, the belt driven ones. That's when you start getting in a really good quality. And I was looking at one of theirs, I think was 5 gallons a minute, but that's really way, way more than I need. So how often do I use a new lift? Asked Mr. Doug. I go through spells because, once you kind of get everything serviced, you're good. But then I use it for unorthodox stuff too. This week I had to put something on and I needed a helping hand. So I went over there and just run the lift up and use the arms to support something. It was lightweight. So you should definitely use it as is. But I just had the new little Tacoma I got. Even though it's a truck, it's used, but nobody ever put a reach on it. Nobody ever put a trailer harness on there. So it was so nice to be able to throw it right on the lift and use it for running wire and getting all underneath. Obviously, oil changes, everything else. It just makes it nice. And Dad has fell in love with the lift, so he calls me from time to time. Hey, I need to change the oil in your mom's car. And I don't blame him. He's in his 70s, don't need to be laying on the ground anymore. So he'll run over here. We'll put it on the lift. And he literally spends about six times as long driving over as it does to change the
Well,
oil.
and it's also a chance for him to get to see you.
Oh, I get that. And I don't blame him for driving over to use the lift and to see me. It's just, I'm saying the lift speeds the process
Yeah.
up so much. All right. So thinking about, y'all got all kinds of building questions tonight, huh? That's great. That's fine.
Throwing them out there.
So I think about adding a tankless water heater. Still recommend 100%. I will never in my life go back to a tank water heater ever. No, these are so efficient, use so little fuel. The water is almost on demand. I'm talking 45 seconds to a far away room, 30 seconds to a close room. Don't use no power. Don't use no propane or natural gas, whichever one you get when not in use, unlike traditional tank heaters, and take up practically no room. You can get them to mount on the outside of your house, which is what I've always done. I have zero problems with that. They're built to do that. Or you can mount them inside and run a vent outside, but 100% recommend those just for lots of good reasons. So Garrett, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you on a long time. Said Zach wants to know if you're going to make a turkey hunt video this year before the season goes out. You want to know what, Zach, buddy? I have heard a turkey gobble here one time since the season's been in. It's been crazy. And I even got cameras set out around the properties. I have only seen just a few hens. I know we were loaded with turkeys. We absolutely are, but they have just vanished on me. I don't know if they're on the neighbors or doing something, but I was absolutely planning on it. I'm not seeing turkeys. I'm not hearing. So
No, we wanted some like fried turkey breast.
Oh, that's the best wild game meat.
Then we would have done a cooking video too.
Absolutely. Yep. So doesn't look like it's going to happen this year unless I hear one this week, because I think it goes out this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Sounds right. So Anna says hello from Lakeland. Hello. How are you? All right. Let me scroll on down here, y'all. Jason says, I love me some Mexican food. Me too, man. It is so good. Just the flavors and all are so good. The seasonings are so good. Oh, my goodness. So, sorry, y'all. I'm so far behind. I'm just kind of cherry picking some comments here. So, oh, Nicole. All right. Could you please say the name of your new channel? I happen to miss the name. It is The Kelley's Creations. And like I did a minute ago, if you'll type it in, I'm about to put it in the chat. Just like this in the YouTube search, you don't have to do the HTTP or nothing like that. There, I put it in the chat. And every time I pull off a comment, I've got it as a banner. Look right there at the bottom of your screen. It says our new creation DIY channel. But all you have to do is type that at the Kelley's Creations at the end, and you can find us over there. Whitetail Dave. Not sure how to answer this one because I haven't looked at the used mower market. But you said there's a Grasshopper 720K at an auction this coming Saturday. Going off at running in decent shape. What do you think of a decent price? I don't know. I really don't. I know they hold their value pretty well. Our brother-in-law just bought a similar series to that front mount Grasshopper. He found one for a good price, but I would be wildly guessing. But what I normally do when I'm looking at something like that, get on Facebook Marketplace, put a 500-mile search in for your area, type in Grasshopper 720K, and just see what they're selling for. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Plus, it also depends on the condition and everything else. Yeah, Miss Lee says, Adam, are you behaving it out or are you holding back? There's no telling what may come out of Adam's mouth or off his fingers. Did I let, you know what, Andrew and Sankey, I don't know why we didn't. I was very rushed. So we had that Grasshopper demo day here last week, and I had several mowers here. And you're the second person to ask me, did I let Tiffany run some of those mowers? Did not. I had them and she could have absolutely wanted to if she'd have asked. But why? She's got the Cadillac mower. She stole my front mount Grasshopper. I literally get to use it a couple times a year. No kidding. And we just hooked her up with something nice on it too. Now she's really going to enjoy running that thing. So she's already running the Cadillac.
I was dealing with the new chicks, getting the coop cleaned out, and then I had to take Bullet to the vet. We've been having some issues with Bullet.
We certainly have.
I had a pretty hectic week too. So yeah, I would have liked to have tried them.
Yeah. Well, here's the other issue too. I only had them for just a couple of days, and I had to make a pile of content because these got brought down from almost up near Atlanta, hours and hours away. So it was something I've always wanted to do, and I appreciate them doing that. That was a lot of work to have somebody drive all of that all the way down. He stayed in the area. He was a rep and had to come back and get them all the way back home to the warehouse. And some of them were going out to dealers for demos, things like that. So it was a lot of work on their part, and I had to dedicate as much time as I possibly could to recording as much content as I could so I can sprinkle it out over the next few months. I'm not going to hit y'all with that stuff back to back, but I had a blast running those machines, and I would have liked for Tiffany to try that stand on because it's so unique, different. You probably would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It's weird kind of driving stand up. That thing is crazy fast.
Probably a good thing I didn't try it because
Yeah, I could see you.
I can get a little wild on
You can.
the
I can see
mower.
you. I can see you going around so quick, and you going that way,
Yeah.
and the mower going that
Yeah,
way.
so it's probably a good thing I didn't.
Hey, goodness. But I enjoyed it. Y'all know me. I'm obsessed with tools and equipment. I just love that stuff because it makes your life so much easier. So it was awesome to have all those mowers here, even if only for a few days, and do a little fun demo day. So Larry says we need to do Mexican food on the cooking channel and an Instapot series. As we focus on that channel more and more, and I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of a back burner channel. I definitely want her doing Instapot stuff.
Yep, I've already been starting to record some of them. I
She
just
has.
need to do more.
She's such a good cook, even on those things. And the reason I wanted to share that with everybody because it's so easy. And it's one of those things you get home from church or late at night, and maybe you're helping the kids with homework. You can put a meal in there, and it's done so quick and easy. Or if you go to a bunch of cookouts like we constantly do, it's so nice to have that thing. So I appreciate it. At least somebody told me I'm looking good tonight. Not Teresa. Mr. Doug says you two are looking good. How's it going with eating healthy? I need to bump this camera up. So we modified our diet. We kind of went back to low carb ketovore recently. I ain't gonna lie, all these cookouts we've been doing some serious cheating, but we're still down quite a bit of weight. You know, I lost about 40 pounds doing low carb and then rolling into carnivore, and then carnivore really made me feel good. Now we're just doing stuff like this. We're still doing mostly meat.
Yeah, we really try to behave like during the week, and then it's the weekends that we, you know.
Because we're not going to make all our friends cook what
Yeah.
what we think. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's fun just having a little cheat day. You know, maybe a little desserts in front of you or whatever, which I'm not a big dessert either. But we got one friend that constantly cooks a dump cake. Oh my goodness, I am a sucker for a dump cake. It's so good. But we're still trying to be good during the week. Like I said, mostly meat, mostly low carb choices. Like even the tortillas we're having tonight, we don't have those often, but they're low carb tortillas. So I guess you can say we're doing like ketovore, low carb, mostly meat, and it's working out good. My weight's holding really well. I guess I've gained 2 pounds, but I'm still down almost 40 pounds from where I was. That's the funny thing about the creation channel, y'all. I'm putting older content in there. When I was 40 pounds heavier, you might not can notice it in us as we've lost it with y'all over the last few months. But when you go back and see me to where my shirt is skin tight, you see my belly hanging out, my arms are big and not in a good way, chubby cheeks, which I still got them. You can definitely tell the difference. I kind of forgot how big I had got. I was definitely not making good choices back then, and I thought I was, but not really.
Nope.
Goodness gracious. Yes, I can barbecue. I seen your booger talk comment. That would be, I guess, something for the podcast. Is booger talk with the Kelleys. My goodness gracious. Adam says I was joking. Yeah, right. You always joke, Adam, and that's okay. I'm a big jokester myself. Andrea had a bat in the cave, says Mr. Doug. My goodness, I've done missed all the. Now see, now y'all got me paranoid. I'm over here itching my nose and feel like I got something going on right there. Oh goodness. We can scroll on down here, y'all. I'm just cherry picking comments. I'm sorry if I bounce over some of them. So yeah, I figured that was coming up since I read a bat comment back there. Any bats yet? No.
No, I checked the other day and there's still not any.
That's crazy. We got these bat houses up. I tried to follow the instructions, give them the right amount of sunlight and everything else. And we've got bats on the property. We see them, but they're just not going in these bat houses. And I really wish they would, because you talk about a mosquito eater right there. All right. So How did the hunting blind work out with the installation? That's David. Amazing. I did an update video, so maybe you haven't seen that. It's titled "My Most Controversial Video Ever" because I think it was. I still get like
Yeah.
literal, almost death threats from that video. People just went crazy. Oh my goodness gracious! So I did an update video on it where I insulated the floor because that was a highly requested. I added my diesel heater back because it just works so much better than the small electric heater, and I gave results in that video. There was some mornings I was in the high 20s and I got it all the way up to 92 inside before I cut it off because I was baking. I just want to see how I could take it. But there was multiple days, 20s, 30s outside, and I could get into the 90s. So the insulation worked wonderful. So many negative comments saying it wasn't thick enough, not enough R value. What a lot of people don't realize about spray foam is it's not, our value is very important, but I have just literally sealed out and stopped every draft in there. That adds just as much comfort and increase in your BTU usage and everything else in there. I can't think of the right term, as having a good R value. Being able to seal out drafts made a world of difference. I haven't noticed any mold, any smells, no dampness, nothing. Everybody said that was going to happen. Thus far, we're really good. So Mr. Doug says, how often do you use your suppressor? I'm on my one for nighttime, every time, 100% of the time. But all I've got is a small caliber one. I really need to get a large caliber one, like a 30 cal that'll take care of all of my other larger options because I've just got a rimfire one, and which has been my thermal setup up to this point. Well, now we're gonna do a Coyote setup because I'm having a big time problem with y'all. I'm literally getting on our cameras at night, like at the driveway by the mailbox, like just random coyotes popping up everywhere. Come out in the yard, they're howling all kinds of crazy. We had one run in the yard in broad daylight a few months ago while both the dogs right here. That's not normal, not right. Kept running to the house. That was a problem. So I'm wanting to get a setup like you're talking about, but I got to take it a step at a time. And honestly, I was hopeful by now that that stupid tax stamp would have been eliminated because of things that are obviously going on in the political spectrum. But it doesn't sound like there's any talk of that. So I just didn't really want to pay the tax stamp, to be honest with you. But that needs to happen soon. It really does because it's good for nighttime, doesn't disturb the neighbors as much, and doesn't blow my eardrums out. All right, let me go on down here and grab a couple more of these. So is that 24 months until you get the permit? Says Miss Lee. I'm assuming, I think it was Tripping brought that up. We don't have a time frame on our permits. We can get them just as quick as we can find somebody to say no more stuff needed. We'll cut it for you. But that question may have been to Tripping right there. So is there somewhere to do a storm shelter at the river property? I'm surprised this question hasn't come up. And I'll tell you what, it's on my mind. Like we literally had a tornado warning Friday. And
we're in Tornado Alley over here.
We apparently are. Oh my goodness. And there's been several confirmed ones around us here recently, but luckily we haven't had any close calls this year. Normally March is horrible for us. It's not been as bad this year for us as it was last year. With that said, I know other parts of the country it's been really bad. Here's the big concern with the storm shelter over there. It floods. So I don't know where we could put one. And putting one in a house that's on stilts doesn't make as much sense to me for the simple fact of well, if the house blows over in a tornado or something, which is going to be built very robust, I don't know that the shelter does you any good other than maybe makes a coffin. And if you put one on the ground, it's going to flood. It's going to get moldy. It's going to get nasty. I don't know that I could seal one out well enough over there to literally handle storm waters and prolonged floods. So honestly, if we know there's a line of storms coming, typically we get plenty of notice. It's always the cold fronts that you can see coming that spins up the tornadoes here. The hurricanes, heck, we get 2 weeks notice on those now. Things are so good. We'll just come stay over here where we have a shelter, and the river house is just going to have to ride itself out. It's only for the occasional time that a pop-up happens like Friday, and that's pretty rare, to be honest with you, because it's not like that was a known cold front coming through or anything that we could see. I just don't think it makes sense to put one over there. But I've been expecting people to ask that question, and if I was going to try to design one into the house. Currently, it's the floods that's just too big of a concern. And I don't think she wants me to put a big cinder block ugly thing out in the yard on and elevate it and no more than we'd probably use it.
No.
So Lee says, I have a mini split in my office, works great. I'm really excited to try a mini split. And I got a very popular brand. Actually, it's the most popular brand on Amazon. Lots of good reviews because I'm a bit nervous with mini splits, y'all, because parts and availability and repairs. But we'll see. I think I got a good one. The reviews were so good, and my goodness, these things are so affordable. I cannot believe for a couple hundred more dollars, or maybe 300-400 more dollars than a window unit, which mine doesn't even have heat. Now I get way more power, heat, AC, and I got a really efficient one because we're running solar in the shop, and I didn't want to get something that pulled high power. It's really high SEER unit, so I'm excited to install it. It's something new. I always like new stuff, and y'all actually were asking about it, so hopefully I can give you all the talking that y'all been wanting. So you're gonna get you a DIY talking video later this week, and some electrical. I forgot. It's gonna be a little bit of electrical with that. I know everybody's super excited about that.
Well, I know I call these quesadillas, but they kind of look like tacos.
Well, it's a half a deal.
Yeah.
So Anna says, how about getting a chicken sitter or build a quickie chicken coop? Well, we had one, but we gave our last one away to some family that was getting started with chickens. So if we still had it, we could set that up. But we're okay with waiting a few weeks. As soon as we put the chicks out with the main group, we'll start this whole process all over again. So we're just going to have to wait a couple months. No big deal. And then I don't have to go take up more barn space with a third, nursery or a little sitting area. All right, Larry says, I think it's a good idea for practice for the house build with the mini split. That's my exact reason for doing this. Go ahead and learn the process. I'm going to have to run a vacuum pump, which I've never done before. Just get a feel for it before I jump into the bigger triple mini split over at the other house. Yeah, I know, Mr. Doug said it'd be good to see Cash live sometime so we both can make it soon. Cash is like me. He's a glutton for punishment when it comes to work. He has started so many side businesses and works already full-time and overtime with his main job. He doesn't hardly get time off, and he can't make much anymore. I still talk to Cash throughout the week. Are you wanting me to shut up?
All right. Here is my fajita quesadilla, taco quesadilla, whatever you want to call it. Smells good.
And I'm getting ready to eat, y'all. We've been yakking now, so I'm gonna grab a couple more comments, and then I'm about to tear one of them things off. I'm just gonna let it cool off for a minute. I am starving. So Tripping says, miss the old live streams with y'all sitting in front of the shop, lawn chairs, fire going in the background. I used to stage equipment. You know what I don't miss about those? Cell phone, bad audio, and constantly losing the live stream because we had no internet back then. But I totally get what you're saying. All right, Brad, good to see y'all. It says, hope everyone's doing good. We are doing great. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you're doing good as well. All right. Todd says, maybe with the new internet, we can convince them to do one over there.
At the property or over there?
Probably over their shop. Well, maybe at the property too.
Yeah.
We are going to try to do one over there now that we have the
We'll do it over there for sure.
All right. Okay, y'all. I am going to scroll now, make sure I didn't miss nothing super important here. We have been yakking a little over an hour. Robert, you are welcome. Says thank you for those reviews. You wound up getting, looks like both of those things. Awesome. And I have,
good deal.
Like I said, I have no affiliation with Palmetto or any of that. I couldn't believe how affordable that stuff was. Absolutely crazy. I see Mr. Doug says because of some of the content and stuff that he's seen that saved their butt. Yeah, it saved our butt too. That's for sure. All right, I'm you're belly flop sometime soon. Not yet. We did have a couple mornings in the 40s. The pool's done got a little
coming.
little yeah. So Kathy, we'll stop right here. I do this for y'all. She says, how come there are no ads on your live stream? Because I demonetize our live streams while we're live. I don't like the interruptions. Yep, we lose the income, we lose all that. But when you're taking time out of your day to spend an hour with us, and we appreciate it so much. I just don't like the interruptions of it when we're trying to be live. I could be answering one of your questions. So I demonetize live streams until we're officially not live anymore. Then I turn that button on. But I do that for y'all so we can just have a nice, smooth, uninterrupted chat. It's just something I decided to do quite a while back, and I think it's absolutely the right thing to do. I mean, look how much y'all take care of us in other ways. Like it's the least I could do to not monetize it, not have it interrupting y'all or having any sort of issues or disturbance. So let's see here. I think I have got I want to make sure I called everybody that went above and beyond. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, thank y'all so
Mr. Doug,
much.
it was so good chit-chatting
Yeah.
with you tonight, seeing you. It was good chit-chatting with all y'all, but I definitely want to recognize Mr. Doug because he is loved by everybody so much. It's good to see you, sir. We absolutely love and appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. We will try to catch y'all next week if you're celebrating Easter. We hope you have a wonderful and blessed Easter. Be safe if you're traveling to see family. Good night. God bless.
Have a blessed week.
Yep. We'll
See
see
y'all
y'all
next weekend.
Take care.